Hey everybody, I'm Kate S. Lewis and welcome to season 2 of Love Dish. Tonight is the season premiere and guess what? Love Dish is all about infusing the richness of love and relationships with the goodness of great food. So, we are so accustomed, for me as women, to get together with my girls and talk about the do's and don'ts, the highs and lows, the ins and outs, and ultimately the turn on and turn offs of relationships. But tonight, I'm sitting down with some of my male friends, both married and single, and we're going to talk about love, relationships, marriage, dating, and everything in between. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you come back and sit with me. We'll be right here on Love Dish.
Sit right here, my dear. Come on, baby, open up about your fears. Let's talk about love, laughs and tears. I hope that I make it clear for you, love, I'm here.
Baby, just show me your heart. You know that this could be the very start of something wonderful, so incredible. Just the right amount of flavor makes this a dish we both can savor.
Let's bring together these ingredients of joy and laughter, so we can make this love dish. We can make this love dish.
Welcome back to Love Dish. I'm Kate S. Lewis, and like I promised, I am sitting down with my male friends tonight. We're going to talk about love, relationships, dating, marriage, everything. So I want to give you a chance. I mean, look at these guys. First of all, they look so good. They look so handsome. I'm so happy to be sitting around the table with them. But first, let me introduce them. So Derek, I'm going to start with you, and we're just going to go this way.
Right. My name is Mr. Derek Lamar. I'm an actor, writer, producer, and host of my own podcast, and Mr. Derek Lamar Show, and also an internet radio show. So I'm very, 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 very happy to be here with you and these incredible gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm Chef E. Marshall. I am the chef for the cast of the show Empire. I'm a celebrity chef. I do it for other entertainers as well. I just love what I do. It's a beautiful thing, and I make it happen.
Kevin Surratt, also known as just Surratt. Makes sense. I am a cast member on the Braxton Family Values, Marriage Boot Camp, Reality Stars, and a couple other things that I'm doing in the making this year. So 2018, wonderful. And I take care of this. I'm a nurse too.
Awesome. Wow. So I feel very privileged to be in the company of such accomplished and very handsome men. I was just joking with them. They all have beards. So, we were thinking, we were
Beard
talking
gang.
about whether or not they were in the beard gang.
Serious. All the way.
I am the beard gang.
But, he
Beard
said
gang.
he is the beard gang. Okay, I hear you. But I'm going to ask some questions because I've been dying to hear from the men on love and relationships. I talk a lot with women. I talk a lot with people in general. But this is such a treat for me to be able to just dish with you guys and hear your perspective. So is that okay? I get to ask anything I want, right?
Thank you
I'm ready.
for wanting our feedback. We don't get to talk too much, so thank you.
I gotta have your feedback because I'm single.
Okay.
So I need to know what I need to do because I mean, hey,
I'm here for you.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Right around the corner.
You heard what he said? He said it was here for me.
Get
Wait
ready.
a minute.
Ready.
But let's start with the first question. So considering what you currently know about love, what do you think love's greatest purpose is? And we'll start with you.
Okay.
I go right in.
Right. Yes, you
Right
did.
in there. Let me get a sip.
Love's greatest purpose is for the soul. I think that it's that first need, you know, because you can have material things, you can have everything in your house, you can have the fanciest car, you can make all the money, you can have, you know, all the material things, all the parties, whatever. But if you don't have that love, it fills that void. It feeds the soul. So that's something that everyone needs and craves and does the craziest things for. So.
I will piggyback off of that. I believe it's the same thing. Because, you know, when you're born, you're loved. Yes. Your parents love you. You get all that at the beginning. So it's like, it's what you're built into at the beginning. And it depends on how you nourish it and how you learn from it, because it can go astray, but it depends on how you give your love, and what you learn from love is how you'd interpret it. Because everyone can interpret it differently. But I feel like it's a nurturing type of situation as well. I think
and I think definitely that on all what I just said. I do believe that's why it's called making love. And if people understand that making love, which also makes a life, is like the most powerful thing that's out here. So if we would utilize making love like it should, I think we would have a much better understanding of what love is, because love is life. Love is living. Love is just truly understanding the journey from which we want. So I think it's really important that we understand that if you just keep it real simple, I was made out of love. Love is life.
So that's being made out of love to make love. And he's talking.
It don't have to be complicated.
It's not complicated. It's not.
We make it really complicated.
It's easy. We want to show off.
Why do you think that's so? Why do you guys think that we make it so complicated?
Oh, I think I definitely know why we make it complicated, because we're taught, especially as young, I'm going to use us as an example, young men. Because we got to empower our queens, and we tend to miss the beat sometimes, because we are taught at a young age that, you know, it's all about getting it in and getting that and being that. And if we don't understand from which it really is, then we'll get caught up and we'll lose it. And then we're not utilizing life for what it really is. And that's why we tend to damage our women and damage ourselves. Because it's, again, real simple. Making love makes life.
Making love makes life.
It's real simple.
That's something you need to put a pin in. I hope you're taking notes tonight, because we're dropping knowledge off the gate. Making love means making life.
And I think that also, with people saying that they love each other, a lot of people use it more as just words. It's an action. And that's why it's complicated. People's like, oh, I do this because I love you.
Right.
You don't have to say anything all the time. Just show it.
Show.
I want to be
so much better than
my relationship. I wanted to be like oh man, I know Chef loves me. Not me just talking.
You want her to call you Chef?
Hey,
Chef loves you.
Chef can mean many things. I cook in the kitchen. I cook the love up. I cook it all up.
You just cook all around. Says Chef loves you.
Yeah, but I don't want there to be any question of it. I want to be like, oh, does he love me? I want you to feel it all the time.
Yeah.
Even if we're in an argument or a disagreement, you know, we're going to work it out because we love each other. People treat relationships like it's expendable all the time. You have to work on that thing. And it doesn't have to be complicated, because the complicated part comes in when you don't communicate.
So true. But it does take work.
It does take work.
It definitely takes work. Definitely, you got complex human beings. It definitely takes work. Got these highly intelligent human beings that over complicated situations, like we're about to say here. You know, it's not that simple.
Well,
I mean, it's not that hard. Is what I'm saying. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Okay.
You know, but we overcomplicate things by
we overthink it.
You know, we overthink it.
And then you're dealing with different personalities, where people are brought up, what they've seen in their life,
what they've been through.
Exactly.
You know, what they might be triggered by, the baggage, the triggers, the luggage, all of that.
All of that.
You know,
and
not knowing how to.
Here's some of my luggage.
Right.
The ghosts, as I like to say, but I'm sure we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Yeah, I want to hear more about that. No, we're just talking and we're drinking. So I do want to say, you know, we all have a little cocktail. I think we've got a little tequila tonight. That you brought.
Absolutely.
You brought a meal that we're gonna get to later. You brought some Remy.
My special dish, cognac.
That's right. You brought the cognac, and I'm gonna make dessert, because I have to at least show my appreciation for these lovely gentlemen joining me this evening.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
So yeah, they can smell it in the air.
So good.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to eat it.
magic in
They're
there.
a trip.
Yeah.
They are a trip already. So, what did you learn about love at a younger age that you found to be totally false, or totally opposite from what you know now?
Whoa.
That once you say,
That thinking
I
cap.
love you and you love me, that everything is automatically going to be okay. Like my brother said, it takes work. You know, like words are just words. And unfortunately, people will tell you anything.
Right.
But you have to watch what they do. I can tell you, hey, you know, this strawberry is not red, you know, but it's red. You know, you have to show the person. So someone just saying, hey, I love you. Oh, I'm good. She loves me. He loves me. But he does.
We about to
a
get
180.
married. It's about to
Right.
be
Oh, it's all good. You know, it's action. So, you know, people tell you anything.
That's
so
true.
so you think that when a person says those words to you, I love you. And sometimes it's genuine. But sometimes people will say those things to keep you in a particular place. I love you so much I don't want you to leave. I love you so much I don't want you to mess with this person. So it's actions, not words. So you know,
I want you to do what I need you to do.
I want you
in
to
this
keep
moment.
doing what you're doing.
Right.
I love you. So some people it's genuine, but sometimes, you know, especially when you're young, you hear it. It may not necessarily coincide with the actions.
True.
Interesting.
I think some people say, I love you prematurely. They say it a lot. You might love something about somebody.
Love how you make me feel.
Exactly.
Right.
But you won't actually love them. And it's a learning process throughout life. When I was young, I used to tell girls I love them. I'm like in 7th, 8th grade. Oh, I love you. But I like your butt. I like this. I like how you kiss me.
I was going to say,
Right.
but comma or but.
Exactly, right?
Talk about the circumference. But yeah, it's different. So when you
Right.
get older, you learn more and more about what love is. And my dad, I told my dad, oh no. He found a little letter of mine that I was writing to some girl. It's like, you love her? Oh, I was trying to do a poem too. It was more than roses or reds. I'm talking about I do your homework. All the type
He's a
of
keeper.
That boy good.
But yeah, my dad found one of the poems in the letters.
Okay.
He's like, so you love this girl? I was like, and why do you love her? I was like, because she look good. She's nice to me. You know what I mean? She hangs around. I like her. I love her. He's like, nah, you don't love her. And then it hurt my feelings. I was like, you don't know me.
No, me.
I do love her. But yeah, it depends on how you grow up with it and then what you learn from. Because love is a lesson.
Right. I agree.
Everybody don't want to do lessons all their life. You got to get it together eventually. But love is a lesson. You're learning constantly. Even at my age, anyone's age, you're still learning about love. It doesn't stop.
That's right. That's right. And I definitely agree with y'all on that. Love is truly a constant growth, a constant guide, a constant pull. It's like when you are in love, you go to so many levels of it. And if you don't understand it, you might miss it. But the bottom line is there to empower, to guide, to lift, to make you sort of that, I guess that person that you would put here, I should say, to be. And it's really important. Like, we shouldn't use love in a way that, oh yeah, man, love you, my nigga. Love you, dog. No, you know I love you. It's not like that, and you can tell in a lot of cases. So it's really important to understand when you are putting that out, that where you're putting it, how is it, and what is it? You know what I mean? So it took me, I've been married 21 years, so plus to really understand a lot of this journey that we're in. So it's just important, and to be around people that understand it too. Because those distractions will really throw you off. Truly throw you off. So be real cautious with that.
And I like what you said about how it took you those so many years plus. You're still kind of in the learning mode. Because I think it's really important that we know that as we continue to grow in age, that we change. And so, you know, love has to change with us if we're willing to stick with it and do it successfully.
So true.
So,
It's a constant change. Because even in relationships, you can be in a relationship for so long. You're going to change in a relationship. People are like, oh, you changed. Well, I did, because I'm learning, I'm growing in life. And then that relationship might not work out anymore because you're on different levels.
right.
And all of this, you got to communicate and be like, look, I'm at this level. Are you coming with me? Are you going to stick
Are you
with me?
Right.
You're going to be out.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing to say, hey, this is not going to work out anymore. Just communicate and talk it out. Because your life changed, love changed, everything changes. It changes constant. But if you love somebody like you say you do, then you support, do whatever you have to do. And if it doesn't work out, it's not a problem.
Because you've grown enough and matured enough to understand that it's okay.
Yeah,
right?
don't come key my car and waste my time because it didn't work.
I don't know who you've been dating, but goodness.
Oh Lord. Oh.
Well, I'm thinking if you cooking, you writing poems, you doing all that, yeah, you might get to keep your car key.
Definitely go get your windows.
I've had the windows busted.
Thank goodness. Well, this is so awesome. I'm loving the conversation so far, but we are going to take just a quick break. So make sure you tune back into Love Dish in just a moment.
Yes, that good tequila.
Welcome back to Love Dish. I'm KS Lewis with all these wonderful, gorgeous men. And guess what? I decided that I was going to do something really special for them. I made a dessert. I made a strawberry shortcake, I guess you would call it. So we're going to keep talking, but I wanted to make sure that you guys had a chance to taste the dessert. Let me know what you think. You know, I got a chef next to me, so it's a lot of pressure. But but we are having such an awesome conversation. He's licking his lips, so that's a good sign. We're having such an awesome conversation about love and relationships and dating, and I want to keep that momentum going. So as we are digging into this, did I do okay, guys? So first,
you did that. Got my mama biscuit. Is that my mama biscuit?
Got presentations on.
No,
Did
I
that.
got something up my sleeve, okay?
Got a little milk. I see.
Gotta, you know, because the
Got the
presentation
garnish.
got to be right. You know, all of that.
Honey boo boo thing.
I might be asleep after this.
Did mine in this
Okay,
honey and
that's
this
right. Because
whipped
we got
cream.
the tequila going. Now we got the dessert going. So while you all are tasting the dessert and letting me know what you think, I want to ask another question. What are the qualities a woman has to have to get your attention? And further, introduce her to those that are close to you. Because, you know, she can get your attention all day. I think you talked earlier about what used to get your attention in 7th grade. But as you have grown and matured, what are the things that get your attention now? And what makes you say, she's going to meet my family. She's going to meet my homies. She's going to be around.
I feel like
I keep dropping them on you, I know. You keep looking at me like, oh God.
The question was more so geared to
No,
this part right here,
I just looked at you because you gave me that look like,
You know what's funny?
another question like that.
You said something in there that stood out to me. I know you was getting ready to go, but it stood out. First of all, 21 years of marriage, I'm good. I wouldn't want to be out there. So that stood out. That's one
It's
big
hard out
piece.
here.
I But I know I'm around a lot of guys, and I sometimes be like, you know, my dudes be like, man, I'm trying, blah, blah. So if I hear, of, like, say, for example, yourself, I listen to you. Now, I know I got some guys who are out there. But one thing I say to my guys is, I'm never going to bring someone to you that I think that is not of growth and development, complimenting where you're at in life. And also them. I mean, I might not really know them, but I look for certain words and certain things. I think the benefit of what I have is I have sister-in-laws. And
You have a lot of sister-in-laws.
A lot of sister-in-laws. And I get to watch. And me and my wife, we sit back and laugh sometimes like, wow. But my guys, I tell them all the time, y'all got to recognize, you set the tone. So when a woman comes to you, you got to really understand that's a queen. And in order for your queen to compliment you, you got to make sure you holding them down. And I think a lot of times we don't get that as men because we're not. A lot of guys I know, they wasn't raised by a man, and women were, and that's what got me in my marriage. My wife was raised by a man, and I wasn't. So she taught me. So that song by Music Soul Child, for example, Teach Me. That's real to me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I look at it and I tell the guys all the time, if you're not open to understanding, you ready to go together? I was talking on the choir boy.
I was about to start beatboxing.
But that makes sense to me. I tell my son it all the time. I drilled it into my son. My son, I was like, stay committed. Don't be out there. Don't be a whore. Don't do this. And the ladies his fiance he's with right now, they've been together since they were like 15. He's 22. So I drill that into my guys too, just to make sure you understand that. When you take that avenue, it ain't about playing with somebody's mind. Because because you gonna get played in the end, really.
But I think what you said is, so I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think what you said, everything you said was really important, but I love what stood out to me is how you said, who raises who. And you know, what you're saying is exactly right. A lot of people have been raised in a single parent home many times, and so they don't have the perspective of both parents to tell them how to interact with the opposite sex or with whomever they choose to date.
Right.
So it's super important to be able to enter into some type of an atmosphere of maturity, because you also said that you only introduce people to one another based on where they are. But I would love to add, and based on where you're going.
Absolutely.
Because where I'm going
That's
is different
it.
from where I am right now.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I like that.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. The potential. I will be married 20 years at the end of this month, and what attracted me to her was her drive. You know, so a lot of people, you know, her spirit, her go-getter mentality, and we both have that. A lot of guys, what I tell guys is, don't just get a cute girl. And I tell women, don't just get the fly dude. Looks fade.
Yes.
You better go get, and I hate to say this, you better get somebody that's going to do some things, because when it's raining, and that could be, you know, literally or figuratively.
I'm sorry, hold on. This
Yes.
is on point.
I know it. You see how I come and I keep talking and looking down.
Chef
It's on. It is official. It's official. You better get somebody who can make a shortcake.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you know, you better get someone that just has more to them than just the physical aesthetics. You know, because as they say, you better get someone that can hold you down, that's loyal, faithful, and can get a bag.
Because I lived in LA for a minute, and I went to date the models and all that. I don't mean anything about how they look. They can have like the nastiest attitude.
Zero substance.
They cannot do anything because they've been like, oh, I need you to do this for me and all this. And they can't do anything in life. I'm like, I'm just gonna date people that can do stuff. I don't care about what they. No. I do care about how they look. I'm sorry.
So let's keep it honest.
I'm gonna say I
No
don't care.
puppies.
Let's start.
Pound puppies need love too. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I do want to be attracted to the person. But one of the things is I want to make sure that I go to a lot of events and I meet a lot of people. I want to make sure I can take them out with them and they act accordingly. Because it's going to be a reflection of me, of how they look. They don't want to be like, oh, chef girl's doing this or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I want someone that's actually going to be honest and communicate with me. A lot of people say that they want someone that communicates. Then they get all in their feelings when they hear this, oh.
And they don't know how.
Oh, God, you talking to me like that? No, but I want you to talk to me. I want people to say, hey, you're messing up doing this. I don't want it to build up and build up and build up. And then the last straw is, I can't be with you because 5 years ago, what? I did what 5 years ago?
They do that.
Remember. Yeah.
All the time.
But yeah, like even introducing people to family, I want to make sure that, you know, I'm ready and that they're ready. It's going to be a journey. I don't invite people to my family's house.
Right.
My parents are still together after 46 years.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
I think I'm one of the fortunate. So I see the way my father treats my mother and my mother treats my father. They argue, but they get over it.
Right.
Because, you know, they're on one accord. And one of the important things is they're in God still.
Yes.
'Cause my father is a pastor, my mom's a minister, so we were all raised up in there. So, you know, they pray. I mean, you can pray, meditate, whatever you do, but just be on one accord.
Right.
And I want to be equally yoked with whoever I'm with. And I think that's very, very important as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I can see them out wherever, and you can meet someone anywhere. Just
Right.
because you see them in the club, don't mean that they're in the club all the time.
That's true.
But we will have a conversation about, okay, this is what you do, this is what I do, boom. And you want to see how they grow, and you have to listen to what they're saying. At first, I didn't used to listen to how they talk, what they say. Like, I want to do this and that and that. But now you really have to listen to what they're saying and what they're telling you. And when a woman says something, they mean it.
Amen.
Yes.
You can't change it if they're in that area.
Listening is important.
Yes.
They will
Like-
tell you, they will give you the blueprint for what they want. You
We're
better
gonna lay
listen.
it out for you.
You better
Because
listen.
they'll be like,
And we're gonna give you time.
I'm not ready for a relationship right now. But a guy might come in and be like, oh, this is about to be my girl. But they're not ready yet.
Right.
And then you're trying to make them ready. You can't do that. Just listen to what they're saying, and they have to listen to what you're saying as well.
Do you think women give time for that growth? Or do you think, because today I
For the
think,
relationship? Or?
yes, like, well, like you said, like, you know, if someone is kind of just looking at the outside and say, oh, that's going to be my girl. And she may be, I'm really a firm believer in, we know before you do.
Mm-hmm. You want before we do.
Yeah.
True, that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if in today's society and how things are going today, like, do we still give that time, and do you all allow us to give you that time to grow
Absolutely
into whatever
not.
it is that we...
Absolutely not all the time. It depends on where the guy is, and if they want to really get to know the person, then yeah. But some women, they're like,
But that
I
tells
want
me-
this. They have a list. Maybe not a list. They
I
might
guess
have
it depends on
What's
where
wrong
the
with
person is,
What's
their
wrong with
age,
I mean,
what the woman has done.
Right.
You know, this is a microwave society. People want
Yes.
it now.
Yes.
Right now.
But
I
a
can agree with
30-year-old
that.
woman's needs and wants and time is different than a 40 or 45 or a 25. So I guess it's when you catch them. If you catch a millennial or what have you, I don't even know what that age range is, but they want it right now.
Right.
right now.
He ain't balling.
Immediately.
He ain't got his own show. You know,
Boom.
30, a little different. Do he have a job?
Right.
40, is he breathing? You know.
Wait.
I'm just joking. But I mean, it
Right.
But you know, people's needs and
They
wants are
do
different based on where they are in their
In their
life.
life, yeah.
But you know, some people, if you're 40, you know, you don't have the time desire to raise a project,
Right.
No.
nor should you have to. So you know, women have been doing like this and shouldering the blunt and the all the wild things of society for their whole life. They shouldn't have to build a dude, you know, like support him is one thing. Support him and love is one thing. But yeah, this ain't got that build a bear, you know, where the brother, I'm thinking about getting a job.
Build a dude.
You know, if the brother's still putting his name on the juice at his mama's house, he got a long way to go before he gets to the point to deal with a grown ass woman.
Right.
So don't
That's
even come
true.
to, if you're not ready, don't come to no grown ass woman.
That's true.
With no, my mixtape about to drop. No, you 40
What?
years old, your mixtape about to come. Fuck out of here.
I don't even want to
Come
meet
to her
nobody with a
real.
mixtape in their
Yeah,
voice.
you drop mixtapes.
Unless it's Jay-Z.
Unless it's
Shout out to Jay and Beyonce.
You
I
know.
ain't trying to take your man. I ain't no home
You know,
You still watch the Five Heartbeats.
Well, you know that's a classic movie.
I'm just glad I had to throw that in there.
nights like this, I wish.
Raindrops will fall.
Gotta hit the-
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Hey, hit Kwame over in there. Come
Hey,
on.
you know,
He can cook. He
Hey,
can
we need to
sing,
do our
he
own
can write
group, y'all. We need to do
poetry.
our own
No,
group.
you got the wrong one, bro. No, you don't want me to.
I can't carry
You can
two
two-step.
No,
Just do
sir.
it. You
no,
can't
sir.
two-step?
I played the Temptations one time. That's about it. I'm done. I watched
But
the
you know,
movie.
once you get to a certain age, 2-7 is really all that's needed.
That's all you need.
That's really
That's the
it.
basics.
Hey, I can do so much with it.
Uh-oh.
Spin the dip. Well, before I hurt my knee, hit the spin the dip. Put variations on that two-step.
But I think what you said is really important. You know, like, we don't want to, as a woman, we don't want a project.
You don't want. You shouldn't have it. Shouldn't have to.
We don't. And for me in particular, I'm single. I'm dating, and I remember meeting different men, especially when I moved here, because I haven't been here that long.
Okay.
It was such a new world to me because,
It's different out here.
I'm from the South. And so, the men in the South, they have land, they have homes. They can go out there and cut the grass and come inside. They're going to cook me some barbecue. Thank you. And do, and do whatever. But up here, it's like, oh, I'm kind of staying in the basement or blah, blah, blah. Or I got a roommate.
Got a 05
The first time
Lexus, that's
a
it.
grown man told me he had a roommate, I could not believe what I thought maybe he
Yeah, what?
misunderstood what I was talking about. And it let me know that we are at such a different place and a different time, not just with relationships and dating, but just with people's mindset.
It is.
That they think that a grown man in their 40s thinks it's okay to have a roommate. And I'm not, shout out to those who are, on the build up that they're, some have gone through some things and they're rebuilding their lives. I'm all for
yeah.
that. I'm all for that. But if that's just like doing you because you like to party all the time,
That means you're not financially responsible.
right.
All that.
And that means you're not safe for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a woman, I need you to show me something that first of all is a compliment to me and where I am. And if I'm taking care of everything on my own and you are not taking care of things on your own.
What do I need you for?
What do I need? I don't need anything.
For the
Well, I
mixtape.
mean, I can think of a couple things, but
For the mixtape.
I can think of a couple things, but that's it. And I won't take them.
And that ain't worth it.
It's not. Because
not
I'm not
worth
gonna take
it.
them seriously. So
You know what?
Then you got to go pick them up.
One of the things we
that
think
ain't happening. They better Uber.
You
they don't
put
got
some
enough
on.
money to Uber.
Can you
They
square
got
cash
enough
me
car?
some money so I can come over there?
No.
With your meaty ass. Get out of here.
I think one of the other things is
I
that
don't want to be out there.
No way.
It is.
Rough out there.
No way.
you got to see what everyone brings to the table too, because people are like some women. I say some. They're like, I want this, this, and this. I want them to look like this, this, and this. I want them to work out, be fit, do all this. I was like, but you really big boned it though. So why you want? I'm just saying. And
You
then,
want all the things you're not.
Exactly. So what are you bringing to the table? Because guys are looking for that same thing too.
True.
Because
That's
it's a partnership. Because if
true.
you find someone that doesn't have that drive or the willingness to do something or change or compromise, because some women are stuck in their ways. I could say people are stuck in their ways.
Right.
If you're not really to compromise and negotiate things like that, then you're not ready for a relationship. You can't be like, this is how I am, this is how I'm going
Right.
to stay, that's it, I ain't moving.
Right.
No,
Some
you can't-
people,
you
like you
can't-
said,
you
some
can't do
people
that.
just aren't ready and they don't even
They're
know
not,
it.
and they
True.
don't know it.
You
Because-
got wants and you ain't doing
And that's what I was
it.
talking about that list.
Right.
They can have a list of 100 things. Oh, we gotta have a mole right here, or one dimple,
You gotta have a beard.
or a beard, all
You
that.
check the box 3 times.
But you gotta figure out what you want from their mind
So
and how
true.
they're gonna treat you. Because some people want affection, some people are not affectionate. Because
That's
it
true.
has to be a balance somewhere, and that's how you know if you're in that relationship. Because I do ask like key questions. You know, not like, what do you see yourself in 5 years? Because that can change. Everything
Right,
changes.
definitely.
Because you can have like a circumstance or something that happens, but like, oh, get into this now because this is what's happening.
Right.
Like I could have been a millionaire by now if I would have did Bitcoins 10 years ago.
True.
You never know what you
Right.
don't know what you can do. It's a constant change. It's just like the main thing to me is the communication and figure out what they want. And if we don't clash, if we don't come together, then it's fine. Let's separate that thing. You can find out whatever you want out there. You can find that little dimple right there. But you don't know what he's gonna do. He might be a bad dude, but he got that dimple. He love me though. He got a dimple.
And he got a mixtape coming out.
And a mixtape. He about to move out of his mama basement in 2 years.
He's on the come up.
You gonna move with his mans in there.
They about to get a spot.
Before the man, he has to make sure he's on point too.
Right.
Before
So
you
true.
ask for anything from anybody
I always
else.
say bring more to the table than just a damn appetite.
Exactly. You should
I
though.
like
If your
that.
ass is just hungry, no. Get it together
I'm a
first.
chef, but I ain't cooking every day.
Okay.
I am not cooking every day.
Are you paying for these
Right.
biddles? You know, you got to bring more to the table than just an appetite. You know, I
And
tell that to dudes, I tell that to ladies. Be more than just a pretty face or a 6-pack or bring more to it than that. Because the bills come every month all the time. They don't care that you're cute. They don't care if you got pretty hair. They don't care if you got a beard.
That's right.
Do something. Bring something to the table. Just the aesthetics.
I
And the
love
way
it.
I was raised, and this is what my father did, his whole life. My mom had the option to work, and that's how I was raised. But I wanted to see that you have that drive, that you want to do stuff. You can bring something to the table, like if you
Right.
have kids. I understand you might want to be staying home, all that, but you can do that. It's not a problem. But I want to see that you have something, that you're
Right.
doing
That
something.
you have some type of drive
Exactly.
and some type of interest because the kids grow up and they move out.
Yep.
Because anyone can start their own business nowadays.
True.
You can be at home working on the internet,
That's so true.
selling this. I was like, look, you're a hoarder. You might want to sell that room.
That room.
So before we go to
those
break, I
things.
want to ask. So we talked about some of the qualities that a woman has, but what are some of the things you overlook when it's time to get busy?
What kind of business you talking about?
I'm talking about getting busy.
Things you overlook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about everything. What are you talking about?
Oh,
So you don't care about her sharp mind and whether or not she has interest in Bitcoin or interest in a top company when it's time to get busy. So what are some of the things that you're willing to overlook?
bad breath.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm just honest. That was me. I've done it. I was like, God, wake up. Come come on, man. You wake up.
Oh, you talking about waking up? I'm not talking about like at the beginning. At the beginning, you don't have to overlook it. You're like, hey, close your eyes, open your mouth.
This work.
Pop, a tic tac.
Okay. I just thought I'd drop that in there.
You
See
know.
what
I
happens.
mean, you wake up in the morning, you know,
You gotta turn
everybody
that
breathing
head to the
hard.
side. You gotta play that shoulder real. You gotta go to that
Real
wherever
strong.
the breath coming. The breath coming like you just gotta go this way.
I will
Man,
say
say shoulder lean. Go to the shoulder.
that I don't like a lot of makeup.
Okay.
I want to be able to wake up in the morning and see that same person.
Right.
I don't want to be
Not
like,
on the pillow. Not on.
like your face came off.
Who the hell lit Morgan Freeman in here?
Cause they do some stuff.
Yeah.
We love Morgan.
They do stuff with makeup nowadays. You
They
know
do. It's
who that is.
amazing.
But I like to wake up, and then and I like reciprocation
Okay.
because
We all
I
know
don't
what
know.
that
I don't
means.
know. Do I need to go into what
We
it
all,
means?
I think we all know
Okay.
what reciprocation means.
It's
But
give and take out here in
Kevin
these
says
streets.
go there. Yeah.
You can go there.
I
think we got it. But,
I'm gonna
you
sip
know.
my
FaceTime to FaceTime, brother.
Yeah. There you
FaceTime,
go.
man. FaceTime
There
it
you
up.
go. If
Play
I'm
with me.
if I'm gonna eat,
You gotta eat
come
too.
on now.
I'm a
You
chef. I'm
gotta
gonna cook
do
it up.
something
We're gonna eat it up.
too. Gotta make it happen. Something like I don't do
Sometimes
that.
I wonder why I ask certain questions.
I'm sitting here like, I don't know.
So I like to do all of it. Make love, fuck,
Oh.
and just do it on the whim.
Okay.
Different situations call for
That's
different.
true.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're in different moods.
It
Yeah.
is. It depends on what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Big city.
And it
As
depends
long
on what
as
you cook that
as
night.
long as we do it. Yeah.
If you cook the burger, guess what? You ain't getting no sensual kissing and hugging and cuddling. No.
I still might.
But if you make
Because
me a
I
steak,
seasoned
no.
that right. I'm gonna
really
get that out your
joking.
teeth.
Get that
Hold on. You said if we cook you a steak
I'm saying.
versus a hamburger.
Yeah.
Now the
I'll
rule
eat
is
chicken.
sleep naked. That's period. That's point blank period. It's no such
The
a
rule
thing.
is what?
The steak is not in the bed. Sleep naked.
Just sleep naked regardless.
Oh yeah.
Playing
I
these
wake up in the
games.
middle of the night.
So what you saying?
You
I sleep
waking
with
up.
fuzzy socks on every night.
That's okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's okay.
That's
Sleep
not
naked.
too much.
It's not
Sleep
too much.
naked.
Okay.
That's just the bottom line. I
There
mean,
you have it.
that ain't a whole lot
And
of
we will
discussion
be
with that.
right back. We're gonna take a quick break on Love This.
You get your toes right, leg. Get your toes right.
Make sure you come back with us in just a moment.
Ripping up folks' sheets. And shit.
Exfoliating my legs.
Taking that.
Welcome back to Love Dish. I'm K.S. Lewis with my phenomenal guest tonight. And as you've heard, we have really been digging deep into relationships.
Digging deep.
I think everything I say is going to have a double entendre, so that's cool. But I did want to point out that, with it being Valentine's Day coming, the dessert, I kind of wanted to send a message with the dessert. So I had the honey, I had the whipped cream, I had the strawberries, and I think I made my point.
And the tequila.
And the tequila.
Man,
I'm still kind of...
somebody about to get it
Babysitting.
tonight.
They're on like drink 3 around the table, but that's all good. I have to nurse mine. It's strong. It's strong. But I got more questions if that's okay.
That's what she said.
That's what we.
That's what we here for.
They're cutting up big
That's what
time.
we here for.
They're cutting up big time.
I hope they taking notes at home because there's some
I
knowledge,
hope
there's
so,
some
yeah.
gems being dropped by these
For
gentlemen.
real,
Yeah,
for
really.
real. So if you're not taking notes, you still got time to go get your pen and paper because they really are dropping knowledge tonight. So let me ask this. Does navigating relationships become easier as you age? Why or why not?
Okay, so
Turn up.
I'm gonna
20,
sip my-
26 years. And I think my relationship definitely started with me loving my wife's heart. Her heart is beautiful. But within all of that, hammer. True hammer. And most men, I want to say truly, they back up off of situations like that.
Okay. What do you mean when you say hammer? Because I want everybody to make
I
sure
got
they
you.
understand what you mean.
Expectations.
Okay.
So we talked earlier about how, we have to sort of complement each other. And if you haven't come from a background where there's a man constantly in someone's life,
Right.
female, and
Or a female in a man's life, right?
absolutely, and you not meeting that, the demand is going to come. So say for example you're in a relationship and everything has been like everything. You get to a certain point and it's not that.
Okay.
You're not complimenting what they want. You're not meeting their expectation. You're not loving them. See, you know, we tend to think, man, as long as I'm loving them, y'all good. I'm giving you what you want.
As long as I'm coming home.
You feel coming home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm eating up everything, making everything eat well. They want to eat. You know what I'm saying? We eating. we both eating. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot more to it than that.
It is.
So you have to man up. You have to figure this out. And there are phases in a relationship that where you gonna go and say, "What the fuck? Are you serious? I'm waking up to this. You giving me this?" So you got to figure it out. And you said something earlier about, again, expectations, and that's fair. That's fair because that's from which you come.
You think it's fair on both ends?
Absolutely.
Because we come to the table with expectations.
Absolutely.
You know,
As you should.
But do you all?
No. My opinion. This is my opinion. Y'all can chime in on this.
I do.
Okay, no, you said that earlier.
Yeah,
I was hoping you
did.
said that.
Yeah.
I was hoping you said that. But you come from a two-family home. Two-parent home. PK.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think we definitely do. I think the dudes, and I feel what you're saying from what you're showing. You know, I think the guys' expectations aren't as complex as the women.
Okay.
Yes.
We just want you to be there, don't cheat, and keep having sex with us.
There it is.
Don't give it away. Keep it tight-eyed, as Meth says.
Sure.
You know, but you know, it does change because we evolve. If you're the same person you were last year, something's wrong.
Okay.
So you know. It does change. You go through, like my sister told me, you know, it's an ebb and flow. You know, but your love should be consistent.
But I have to stop you right there and ask or interject a quick question. So you said if you're the same person next year, something wrong. But what about the man who comes with the argument of you're not how you used to be?
And you know what?
It depends on what area.
Yeah, it depends on what it
Okay.
was. Depends
Okay.
because you have to, and that could be a bit of selfishness. Now,
Okay.
you know, it could be a thing if she's, you know, y'all used to do it every day and she doesn't. Well, maybe you ain't helping her
That's
with
a
the
lot of
kids, or maybe you're not. Maybe she's working more, or maybe you're not carrying your load, so maybe
Right.
she don't feel like fucking you. Excuse me.
Every
Maybe
day.
she don't
You
feel like
say
messing
that
with you
every
because,
time.
you know, sometimes we're selfish.
Okay.
Damn dog, she don't do this, she don't do that. But you know, what I often do is sit down and take inventory, and I had to realize I wasn't doing a lot. I was so focused on acting and writing and filming and this, that, and the other too. I wasn't paying attention to certain things. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I'm making sure everybody eating. I make sure everybody laughing and joking.
Right.
But I'm never there.
It's more than
She
that.
just wants you to come in and listen to her.
More
talk.
Yeah, and then when I had, you know, sometimes you gotta check out, put yourself in time out,
Right.
go somewhere and just say, dog, the fuck are you doing? Get yourself together. Like I got severe ADHD, so I have problems sitting there having that conversation outside of myself, to myself, talking to myself, saying, you fucking up. And I'm like, I know, dog, but do what you gonna do. All right, you know, so call me crazy because I am, but you gotta do that because when I got my black ass out the car, I was good.
You were good.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were ready.
Everybody
All
was
of y'all
happy.
was good.
All of us was good.
Yeah.
But that one dude up there, he a little crazy. But everybody was good, and I understand I had to stay on my path. Like I said, never let nobody get you off your square.
Yeah.
I
They're
love
not
that.
good.
So everybody,
Right.
everybody.
Self-inventory
That's
is
good
important.
And nobody likes to do it because it's ugly.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at me, I was like,
That's a real place of vulnerability.
selfish. I was
Yes.
extremely
Yes.
selfish. All I saw was Derek. I'm the youngest child of the favorite aunt of all these kids. I ain't had to do shit my whole life.
Wow.
I've been extremely. I can't cook because everyone did it for me. So I've been selfish my entire life.
That hurt my soul.
And it took me. I know.
Say that.
Me and him separated at birth. So.
He got the cooking
yeah,
skills.
and I got all I got is this. That's
He
all I
got all the personalities.
Yeah, that's all of the personality. But yeah, so I had a lot of take inventory of all the personality. That was a long time. But you have to take inventory of
He
what
went to
you
Carp
bring. You know,
Days.
I was in there a minute, brother. But
yeah.
you have to stop being selfish and understand that she wants you to be that man that maybe you were, which is that dude that made her feel secure.
Right.
And you can grow. I don't look the same I did last year. You know, I still had this, but I had this. But you change and you grow, but your focus and your goal should be the same. Like I changed,
Yeah.
but your
And that
focus goes to
takes
But it's all
Right.
about communicating, though.
Right.
You gotta communicate.
Right.
You gotta communicate it.
But I think you also have to be willing to accept the communication from your partner
Yes.
because, you can sit in the car and have that conversation with yourself. But if you go inside the house and her conversation is something totally different than what you just talked to yourself about, you're still on the wrong
You
page.
still made a hard left.
Oh, you
Right.
know what? One of the things that I've noticed. So sometimes I take self-inventory. If I'm in a relationship and then, things might be a little rocky.
With you?
This is sad.
No.
I mean, not after I cook, though. But
See,
Or eat.
because everybody loves food. Oh,
woo, man.
they good. Yeah. They be like, what you want, Daddy?
They make it.
I'm
They
sorry, Daddy. I won't do it again.
But
Too much.
when you do take the self-inventory, and then you be like, you know what? I was going on the wrong path. I'm doing this. And then things might have been rocky. But once you become that guy that's like, all right, baby, I'm doing this. And then they're like, what's wrong? Why you acting changed? Did you cheat on me? Did you do this?
Right.
So you got that's why you have to communicate and be like, you know what? I did self-inventory. I figured I was doing this wrong, but I'm going to fix it now.
Yeah.
Because if there a drastic change,
Yes, we will think that quick.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, what's your problem?
Girl,
Like,
he up to
what
something.
you do?
Why you being
What
so
did you do?
nice? Why
He
you
cleaned the
being so nice?
bathroom
right.
and put his plate in the sink.
And he washed
He
it.
cheating.
Exactly.
That's right.
Then they got an investigator after you
Right.
going
And
to
they
dinner.
all got
You
that
do-
one
you
friend.
do
That
too
one
much.
friend.
That one friend when she come over,
Girl, you need to call cheaters.
he ain't shit.
Is that show still on?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
Is it still on?
Joke is still
I don't
cheating.
watch
This
it.
gonna be on.
But yeah, that's why I always say communication is very important.
So true.
Because we can think we're doing the best thing, but like, you know what? I'm changing the day. I'm buying you flowers. This nigga ain't never bought me flyers.
True.
Flowers.
What's her name?
Like, he got a
Exactly.
whole nother family
He got a
across town.
whole nother family cross town.
Like, why you home more? Why you doing this
Right.
more? So you gotta explain.
Your kids
like,
look at you like, it's
Dad?
still light out.
Exactly.
Even the kids looking like, what's going on?
When the kids do that, what are you doing here? Like,
They know.
nigga, I live here. Like when your kids do that to you, like, yeah, dog. give me
Yeah.
the big
Because
nine.
sometimes you are, sometimes people are busy and they don't understand what they're doing wrong in a relationship.
That's true.
So that's why you do have to take that time out and just be like, okay, what does she want? What did I want? And just talk about it and think about it. Be like, you know what? I used to do this. Or maybe you're doing something and you didn't realize that things changed.
Right.
Because you just got so busy with your work or busy with whatever you're doing. Realize that thing has changed. But she sees that you changed and you don't know, like, why does she have attitude now? So you have to figure out what you're doing with yourself and then be like, okay, I gotta do this. Sit in the car with all your personalities.
Yeah.
or
I need a
wherever
bigger
you at.
car.
or go in your prayer closet.
Right,
Whatever you have to
right.
do just to figure it out because sometimes people don't always say what is wrong with you.
That's true.
Like if we were dating, you'd be like, you know what? He just acting up. But you telling your girls,
Right.
but you're not telling me.
He can cook.
You know what I mean? I mean, you just like, you know, I ain't gonna tell him what's wrong because he might not make that salmon anymore, or he might
Right.
not do this. But you know, you can't be afraid to communicate in
That
relationships.
Salmon. Throw it out there.
Yeah.
Threw that salmon
I
out
like
there
salmon.
with the asparagus.
Oh,
With
on
the
the
garlic
bed of
mash.
asparagus.
Woo!
And I'm
Man,
talking about the
man.
lemon pepper salmon.
Woo!
You ain't
Sally,
ready.
preach it.
Hello.
Hello! You ain't ready for the lemon pepper. Hey,
Listen.
can I get it? Hey, won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Look at God.
I make peach cobbler too.
Oh, look at the complimentary.
Look at the compliments.
I got
Look.
dessert, baby. You get the meal. I got
Got
dessert.
dessert.
I don't boo-boo status. Oh,
Man.
man. Wipe my tears. Oh,
Won't he do it?
yes.
But I do like that you said, that you have to take self-inventory, but I also think it's important that along with the communication, you're willing to accept what your partner says.
Oh yeah.
God,
Yes.
listen.
Because
You
sometimes
gotta
you're taking
listen.
this self-inventory and you're, you might watch something on TV or read something and say, oh, I got to do this. But again, it's so important to go in and check with your partner so that they know you're not just coming out
You
of
better
left
you better
field.
get tuned in with your partner.
Right.
Because a lot of
You have
times
to be.
women won't say it. You better peep that body language.
Right.
Body language
the
and their-
vibrations,
everything.
man, because you be sitting around watching TV and something happen and when you hit a couple
Yep.
you done fucked up.
Really?
You need to realize
That's what the telltale
you
sign
better pay
is?
attention. She hit me with 3 and I was like,
Then it's over.
I was like, dog, what I do?
Let me go to
I'm sitting over the sofa like this, just watching her. Just trying to, because it was something
That hit home with
resonated
her,
with
yeah.
her
Okay.
about some shortcoming or something that you did. You better pay attention to her, and she's not always going to say because you've been, in the game with her for a while.
But she feels like she said it.
She feels
Or
slighted.
she feels
yeah.
like she's done something to show you
Yes,
what she
I
needs.
had a situation where we had a storm, and my house backs up to like this farmland with trees, and some branches fell over on our property. And she said, "Yeah, when you get a chance, can you put those branches over the fence?"
Fair.
3 months later,
Didn't get a chance though.
she said, "But I was rocking. I was getting a bag, so I didn't get a chance to
It's
do it."
biodegradable.
She said, 3 months later, she said, "Motherfucker, you gonna be homeless if them branches ain't."
Because
She
when
told me she was
said,
nice.
When you get a chance, that meant that week.
That meant right then. That's
Well, actually, yes.
with
But
me.
we'll give
If
you
you see
leeway
me
for that week.
yeah, if you see me standing there, you better catch me right then because
Right.
and I didn't do it.
I got a trump
It's
card.
that short term.
3 steps.
What's the trump card?
3 steps in my house. When she come out the bathroom, I can tell by the way she walk up those 3 steps.
What it's gonna be.
What it's gonna be. I come in the morning, I try to press her. I work at night. I try to press her to go use the bathroom.
So you know.
So I know. That's
You
my
got pee,
trump
don't
You
card.
got several months till she see this before she know.
Now she know.
Shit.
I got several months before she see this, before she know.
Oh,
Cut the tape, young
no.
buck.
That's
And now, you know.
You better have the signs. You better watch that body language.
Man, them
Steps.
steps, man.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you, they've been my trump card. But I do want to add to this. Y'all made me think of something. In the beginning of my marriage, I was working like crazy. 3, 4, 5 jobs. My buddy told me that you had 5 jobs at one time. I said, yeah. So now it's
Now you
changed.
Jamaican.
So my wife, yeah, she's a Jamaican dad. And she works a lot. And I kind of then pull back a little bit. So the expectation is different. You need to take care of that home. You
Man,
need to,
listen.
when I say those trees, Phil, that need to be taken care of.
I'm
So
about
you
to go
want
home
her to
and
go
be
out
like,
and get
yeah.
the trees?
No.
No,
Oh.
I need to get my black ass out there.
Oh,
With
okay.
these
So but
slippers
she,
on
I'm
that,
listening.
she used to get the trees herself because
Oh,
I
I
was
see.
working
I got
so
you.
much.
I got you.
I had that type.
But now when she says it,
Bloop.
got
And
it.
then flip.
Mhm.
I'd be like, why you ain't get them?
She'd be like, when you get a chance, she'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Next month,
yeah.
they still
Get it
there.
right
They
there.
still there.
That's
So,
the problem.
but it's so important to catch on to that because, like I say, ours flipped,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a cooker, so she can cook.
I give lessons.
But you get blessings. I like that.
Lessons.
So lessons. That's a blessing.
That's a lesson.
So the bottom line is I'm learning to cook more, but also I have to really listen different now.
Yeah.
So I do, and that's what's been helping. And true, the communication is very different.
So you adapt and adjust to the relationship.
Absolutely.
You said
To
we-
where it's
we-
at right now,
Right.
because it's different.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna keep becoming different.
Exactly.
Because y'all wasn't the
More
same
and more.
person, the same people years ago. You, like I
Right.
said, not only did you all as people, the situation flipped as well.
Yes.
So now, and best believe, like we talked boss lady, and I know I'm gonna get hate mail, but I'm used to already get hate mail. God, should I say this?
Say it.
So when
Say
the
it.
woman
With your chest.
say it with your chest. So when you got the woman who is now in that boss mode.
Right.
This was 03.
Oh yeah.
But the walk was different. The talk was different when it flipped. Because she was the boss. I was just a nymph on the sofa. She, and I'm not that,
I
but,
got you.
but that mentality that we have to understand, pay attention, and understand the shifts and changes. I wasn't back in the court. I was playing Madden. I'm on the, so I can understand. She, she's a teacher. She's a principal now. Her working all day with kids, and this joker playing video games all day, going to get his car washed. Like we didn't just buy a house and have a 2-year-old.
Right.
But I knew it was gonna happen because I got faith. But I needed to pay attention.
Right.
So we really got to pay attention.
I think I have one thing. When you get into a relationship, stay who you are in certain circumstances at the beginning. Because my uncle, he got into a relationship and a marriage. He stopped playing basketball when he got in a relationship because he spent all the time with her, all this stuff, doing whatever you do. If you have like hobbies, keep that and then merge that into the relationship.
Oh yeah.
Because he he stopped doing all that, and then when they got married, he wanted to go back to
He
doing
lost
it.
himself. She was like, hell no.
And she was like,
Right.
"Well, you didn't
You're
do that. We
Because
were in
that's
a
not what you were
relationship."
doing when we were dating.
Exactly. That's why you still have to say who you are in that relationship.
Right.
Don't lose yourself in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Just merge each other together.
Your woman don't like brand new stuff.
Depending on what it is.
You know what it is? Yeah, I'm just
We
joking.
like
I was
brand new
just
flowers.
messing. I was trying to mess with
brand new
her.
cars.
I was trying to.
We like
no brand new
brand new
activities. No, who is this?
We don't like brand
They
new
like-
activities.
they like-
don't like brand new people.
They like brand
Nope.
new positions.
brand
They
new
like
positions.
brand new sex swings. I'm just saying.
This guy.
Hey,
I'm just saying. But yeah.
Yeah.
Who generally has a better argument, men and women?
That's two for that.
that's
Women argue better
Mm-hmm.
because, like my brother was saying, they done stored up ammunition.
yes.
Whoa. 2011, you said, wait a minute, I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. You can't.
They do.
So women, they invented the checklist, the honeydew list.
Yes.
When you flip the honeydew list, it's, nigga, you did this list.
Yes.
So they argue better.
Okay.
Like I said multiple times, people know me.
How
Terrible English.
they do it though? They be like, flip it. When you did this, you snatching everything
yeah.
of what you did.
No, see, remember,
We
you sitting there like
snatching
this.
it out of the air.
That's what
You're
y'all-
wrong.
that's
Y'all
And you
be
struggling because you don't
wrong.
remember
Or you
anything.
doing this.
When they clap, or when they don't look at you. So,
And they be
wait a minute, just help me understand.
And
You're
they be
like,
lying. I didn't want to say nothing,
But you know what
was
the thing?
waiting
me
to
talk
say
to.
it.
I gotta take up the ladies on this one. The reason is because you have taken us to a point of frustration where we have, asked you, or we've said this, or you've done all this stuff.
but you can't look me in my face though. You gotta look over there.
Because if we look you in the face, we probably punch you.
No. Because if you look me in my face, you go
I
get
be,
weak.
I be like,
You be like this.
yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
that's
exactly what it is.
They be like,
No,
what?
Look at me. You say, man.
Yeah.
So what you saying?
What you saying?
Nothing, daddy, man. You make me sick.
No, but you know what?
Well, I'm about to do
That's
something
true.
crazy.
But
They be like,
but
what'd
I
you
do
say?
think that's a
Yeah. Huh?
Wow.
But you know what? I do think that's a good thing because you want to be so connected to somebody that you can't stay mad at them very long.
I can't nobody stay mad at me. Ain't nobody mad at me ever.
I believe you.
Ain't nobody.
I believe you.
You got the easiest life ever. You can't stay mad at me for shit. And I be bunging up.
Right.
You can't be mad at me.
I'm like, you killed my
Make me
dog.
sick.
That's okay.
Oh,
Oh, you made me sick, Jared. Jared, you made me so sick. I know.
I'm gonna ask another question before we take a little break. Do men? Now I'm gonna take it back to a little serious mode. Do men approach heartbreak differently than women?
Absolutely.
We talk about that. Yeah, we
Absolutely.
do.
That's
we
a serious situation.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. I can.
Cause
Which personality are we about
Look,
to
I'm
have?
having to struggle with all of them.
You about to get at the kind.
No, you shut up. No, you shut up. No.
man,
We are more, I'm going to say, men can often be more sensitive. DeBarge, Drake, and the Silvers roll into one nigga, just the most sensitive. You'd be laying on the bed with some socks on and shit. With the tissue. But, so when a man is hurt,
Yes.
oh my God.
fuck this.
You. And it takes
All
so much
y'all.
when you finally break down and call your man. Oh, you ain't never gonna believe this motherfucker. You know, it's like
I be
4
like-
days after
I be
it
like-
happened, it builds up that nerve to
Like,
be
you
like,
crying, ain't you?
she hurt me.
You crying, dog?
Yeah, but he know. Your man, like that's your man. He knows. But it takes us when we get to that point where someone cheated or this, it
Yeah.
Tears you up.
it tears you.
So I want to come
as a
back to
man.
that. I want to come back to how men approach heartbreak. But you said something. Do men? So when you said cheating, it made me think about the different men I've met that have been through cheating, and for whatever reason, they come back, they rebound, but it's never the same. So when there's a woman that you truly, truly love and she cheats on you, do you ever truly recover from that moment?
You can, like I was telling Chef earlier. You know, my wife is incredible, and I trust her with my heart and soul. I got my heart broken early, and I thank God for that. That I got it, early because you get it out the way. You get your.
But see, I feel like when a man does get his heart broken early, every woman that comes after the one who broke his heart has to suffer.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was talking about ghosts. Yeah, I there was some savagery for some years following after that.
Yeah.
There was some savagery, and people paid the price of the ghost of what had happened to me, and a lot of men pay the price for ghost.
Right.
For that other sorry motherfucker that did the girl
Right.
wrong. You pay for it. And unfortunately, I always look like somebody that hurt somebody. My face always looks. I went to a cookout and this lady said, "You ain't shit." I'd never seen a woman. You like my ex. Mind you, she was like 60. I was like, what was that, like 30 years ago? But,
She had that memory.
Oh shit, I'm just sitting there trying to eat. But
wrong.
I look like everyone that hurt, but you have to. Guys approach it differently. You have to just trust that this next person wasn't that person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the next person pay for the sins of the last. Nor can you carry the same behavior on to the next. But I'm glad I got it over with early. I went through that savagery period, and I found someone who was just incredible. And my mother was a prayer woman. Like, pray for this boy and throw this water on this boy. Lord, he's nasty. But I changed, became
That's
a good
awesome.
guy.
Shout out to your wife for causing you to, decide to make that change.
She did. She's something else to put up with me.
Women have
I
a
think-
good way of doing that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Very,
true.
very.
Like for me, I look for. I do want a serious relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When I get into one or start talking to someone, it seems like they're not open to that right now. But I do want that. I want that structure because when I do love hard because I give my all into it because it's what I want.
Right.
And then if someone else doesn't want it, it's like, okay, you said you wanted it at the beginning, and then you get into it because they come to you sometimes like, oh, you're what I prayed for, or they want a good man because they had all this dirt before, and then when they get it, you don't know what to do with it, or you feel like, oh, I'm waiting for the bottom to fall out. And guys,
Expecting the
guys
worst.
do that.
Yeah.
Guys do that too.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I've seen that a lot. Of like, because I do cater to whoever I'm with. Take them out, do surprises, and cook for them. That's easy. But a lot of people don't get cooked for like that all the
Right.
time, especially
That's
by
true.
a man.
That's true.
So I try to. I'm gonna help you out, brother.
I need some
I'm
help,
gonna help you out,
brother.
brother.
Both of y'all.
Them hot pockets ain't popping no more.
That
Just
ramen.
play that ramen.
But
I get my high blood pressure.
I do give my all.
My feet swollen.
And then if you're in that relationship, and then you're giving your all,
Yeah.
you might be in it for a couple years, but they're still waiting for the bottom to fall out. Then they cheat on you. This is actually real experience.
Wow.
Then they cheat on you. He's like, well, I figured he was going to do something sooner or later. And then that just crushes you. And I was talking to him downstairs. He's like, I went through a depression period, but then I had to wake up. I talked to myself too. I got another personality.
I tell you, we separated at birth.
But it
We
was
took
like,
out 8 cribs, just the two of us, for all our personalities.
it's like whoever did that to you, they're still living their life, and you're soaking in whatever what happened to you. So you got to snap out of it and keep it moving. I'm up there crying and whatever. She's living, still fucking
She's
a dude
skipping.
or whatever she got to do. And I'm like, you know what? I got to live my life, come back to it. So I had like a period. So you do become cautious after a while because the communication wasn't. I have to take that back because if you did go see somebody, she said she communicated different than you did. So there's different types of communication.
You was forthcoming, she was not.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say it's you, bro. You wanted it. You were forthcoming. What they say, hurt people. She
Yes.
was damaged before you even met her.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
And and it's messed up because you was all in, and this person was so jaded and hurt that they expected you, a good dude,
Right,
to
to
fuck
mess
up.
up.
So she went ahead. Some people can't get out their own way.
They can't.
So she was like,
Even
He's
though
so good,
they did what they asked for.
Some people she hit the panic button because she was expecting you to mess up.
And she's probably kicking herself right now.
Oh, she is.
She
is.
Because we always have that moment where we can look back and have some regret at things that we did or
Her ass eating
decisions
Hot
that we
Pocket
made
right now.
right. She could be eating
Shit
good.
ain't even cooked. Cold in the middle like a motherfucker. That's what she get. I'm sorry.
So silly.
So-
we are going.
the next relationship, I want them to understand that, it's a serious thing that I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
You too.
Yeah. I'm with it. So we're going to take a quick break and come right back, and I have one final question. And
I don't want to go.
you don't have to
Just
go.
keep this going. We got so much more to say.
It's just starting to boil.
Yeah, we hey,
I know.
it's some ladies at home breaking pencil lead like
As they should be, because
hurt
you guys
people
are
hurt
giving it
people.
to them.
Broke people hurt people.
Right.
Hey, you
Hot
gonna
pockets
go?
cold in the
Pockets.
center.
She said we gotta go, but I'll be back before you know it.
There it is.
Hey,
Give us just a moment, and we'll be right back on Love It.
so he sing.
One of the personalities.
He got a beard. Man, your DM's about to be popping like a mother.
Welcome back to Love Dish. Yes, it does taste good. I'm K.S. Lewis.
Tastes like Jesus made it.
So tonight has been so much fun. I hope that you've had a chance to be with us the entire night. But tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and so I would and because we've been talking about love and relationships the whole night, I would love to hear what you all have planned and what you generally do for someone on Valentine's Day. So Kevin, what would you normally do for your wife on Valentine's Day?
It's real complicated and complex, but the beauty in it is I always bring it in. The bottle is just like off the break.
Full of goodies, and so that's a good night.
And that's the key.
That's a good
I really
night.
want to say that it really represents the love that we've sort of embraced that whole year. And remember I said it earlier on in the show, making love, making life,
Right.
living it.
It's powerful.
It's all in that, that's what I try to capture. And one thing I've loved throughout our relationship, our marriage, is I always focus on my wife's heart.
That's awesome.
Out of everything, I focus on her heart. Because like I said earlier, she's a hammer. But if I stay focused on her heart, I always win.
I love it.
Fellas,
I love
I always win focused on her heart.
Chef E, what are your plans for Valentine's Day?
He's going to eat.
Everybody know I'm gonna eat.
You gonna make it hot in the kitchen.
He be eating, man.
You gotta make it hot in the kitchen
See,
too.
I'm definitely gonna eat.
But on one of the serious notes, this Valentine's Day, I'm actually giving back. So I do fine dining. So this is going to be a fine dining for the homeless. Actually, I want them to be able to sit down to enjoy each other for this Valentine's Day. But after that's done and over with,
When they're good.
when they're good and full, I will get good and full. And you know what? All you need is kind of one rose to give. Valentine is every day. Each petal represents every munch. And it doesn't stop. It's the gift of giving.
I love the community
my
service
goodness.
aspect of what you're planning to do tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And they said choir boy didn't get down.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I ain't gonna be the one singing. I tell you that.
I am almost
hit them
afraid-
high notes like Minnie.
I'm almost afraid to ask you what your plans are.
You know, we're gonna take her. Where?
You said all of your
We're gonna
personalities.
take her out. But, we generally do something, with the kids early.
Okay.
And she's a Tiffany's girl. So we would get her a little light blue box, And then,
Not
we
mad at
do
that.
something with the kids. And then she go get that gift. Oh, lady! She get to unwrap this joint right here.
So everyone sounds like they are going to have quite a full evening on tomorrow night.
I had to shed a tear over it.
Hit this joint like this.
Yum yum.
It's going to be marvelous.
It's gonna be great.
So I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you all so much for joining me tonight on Love Dish and
I
talking so
enjoyed it.
freely. I did too. This has been just very eye-opening and quite funny. But I think you guys... I'm ignoring you. But anyway...
Sure you are.
But I think more than anything, you guys dropped so many gems that people can hold on to and really, should and can help to make their relationships work better. I do have one last question, and it's a question that I ask every guest that comes on the show. What is your greatest hope for love? And anyone can jump in.
I think the greatest hope is just, when you are on the same accord and there's trust and faith and faithfulness, because faith and faithfulness are two different things.
Because it's a lesson, the beginning, the end of it, even like the bad times of it. Just learn love, trust love. Just make sure it's your love, and make sure you communicate within the realm of love, like all aspects of it, because it is a life and death situation.
Right.
And I mean, a prime example is the life I talked about earlier. If you two have come together and made a life, and that life represents and shows the light that you two struck or have, it's really important to make sure that you look and reflect upon all that growth, all that love, all that faithfulness, all that trust, all that belief in each other, and keep it growing. Keep that light truly blazing, because only you two can do it with his hand, his help, and his love. And that's what it's all about. And make plenty love.
Opportunity to have you guys tell everybody how they can keep in touch with you, how they can check out what you're doing, how they can follow you, all of those things.
My name is Mr. Derek Lamar, MrDerikLamar. If you can't spell it, you can catch me on Mr. Derek Lamar on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Farmers Meet, BlackPeopleOutside.com, all of those things. Be looking forward to seeing. I got a book coming out. Got a TV show, Informant, coming out. Great things happening. The book is called Poems, Sonnets, and Shorts, Words for the Hurting Soul by Mr. Derek Lamar. Been working on it for a long time. Very proud of it. Check me out. I'm here for y'all, man. We all here for y'all.
All of y'all. So you can find me on Instagram, Chef_E Marshall. Twitter, same thing. Snapchat, Dapper Chef.
About to follow.
Dapper.
If you understand why. I do have a book coming out. It's called The Morning After. It's an actual relationship type cookbook. I actually just started a new show. It's called Kitty Kitchen. I'm teaching like between 3 and 5 year olds how to act in the kitchen and cook in the kitchen. It's an entertaining show. It's a little stressful. I have no hair. I had it before I started, but it's good. I love the kids.
That's what's up.
You can catch me on Empire. I'm in a couple episodes of Empire, so you can check that out as well. But God's blessing, things happen. Just look out for me.
You can catch me on IG. That's Sirat, SIRRATT23 on my IG page, and also my Twitter page. My Facebook page is SIRRATT, Sirat Sons. Also, my management team will be on those pages also. Be sure to connect if you want to. Motivational speaker, actor, things of that nature. But one thing I want to put out is tune in to Braxton Family Values this year. It's going to be hot.
Definitely.
Tune in. I promise you. You will not regret it.
Amen.
There we go.
Awesome.
About to set my DVR.
All of us.
My man's on there.
And awesome, thank you. Now, you can put my little dessert in your cookbook now. The morning after, I think that's a perfect morning after dish.
Oh man, the strawberries, the honey. That sounds like a dish you put on somebody right there.
I don't know. You put my dessert in the book, man.
It was delicious.
Unwrap it, y'all. Unwrap it, y'all.
I just want to take this opportunity again to say thank you all so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this evening with me. And thank you for watching. This is our season premiere.
We ain't going nowhere. Now.
So I want you to stick with me on season 2 of Love Dish, because I am going to continue having wonderful conversations about love and relationships. And I'm going to bring some of the area's best authors, personalities. Who knows? Who knows who you might see? So stick with me every week on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. I think all this stuff is starting to come together. But anyway,
It sneak up on you.
it does sneak up on
Whoever
you.
gonna be here, I'm gonna be in the back like this.
They are going to keep coming and watching, and so will you. Again, my name is
Hit
K.S.
from the
Lewis.
back.
You've been with me on Love Dish tonight. You can make any kind of comment you like right below, and please make sure that you subscribe to the page. Have a great Valentine's Day, and I will see you next week.
We go. We go. Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Love Dish.
The boss.
Sit right here, my dear. Come on, baby, open up about your fears. Let's talk about love. Laughs and tears, I hope that I make it clear. For you, love, I'm here.
Baby, just show me your heart. You know that this could be the very start of something wonderful, so incredible. Just the right amount of flavor makes this a dish we both can savor.